33 minutes or so, 34 minutes left to run. It ain't over, but that was a very surprising, conclusive move to drop it down to just two guys. 19 miles, 1:30.25.
Yeah, 2:04.45 pace now with that last injection of speed there. I'm wondering if Wesley is regretting his move a little bit now as he sees that Moses has responded to it. And sometimes in a marathon, the emotion takes over and you go, and then you realize, oh my goodness, what have I done? I've still got, 6 minutes of hard running to go. But Moses has taken advantage of that. And let's see now. It looks almost as if Moses now has decided, maybe I sense some weakness with Wesley. I'm going to try to open up on him. Is that what you're seeing, Tony?
Yeah, it's almost like this is a poker game, and somebody put a big, put a lot of chips on the table, and Moses says, "You want to play? Let's play. I'll see your raise, and I'll raise you another 440." And so now Moses is trying to put the wood to Wesley, and Wesley's got the answer. And Kipyego's got himself back together, and he's trying to slowly reel him back in. All this is it's a fine line they all play. When you feel too good, you don't want to get too high. So you don't want to get too excited when you're feeling good. You don't want to get too low when you're feeling bad. So long way to go. It ain't over, but Moses feeling good right now. Wesley's got the answer. Kipyego's trying to cover the move. Evans Chariot's gone. Dauba doesn't look like he's got enough to answer it, but Kipyego could come back yet. But now Moses has got about 10 meters. And he's feeling it.
Looks to me like Kipyego is trying to charge back a little bit. Again, Moses up front now, though, looking good.
He's got about 10 or 15 meters pulling away.
Let's quickly take a look at the Xfinity World Record Split.
Well, all Moses knows is I can run 2:03 in the marathon, so this must seem easy.
All right, is it going to be Moses Mosop or is it going to be Wesley Korir, the guy who eats Subway before each marathon? Find out when the Bank of America Chicago Marathon rolls on. We're right back. Welcome back, everybody. You're looking at Moses Mosop, who is approaching Chinatown, which is where our Kim Vadas is. At this point, Ryan Hall, the American hopeful, about a minute off the pace. This looks like it could be Moses Mosop or
just a beautiful day right now. Everyone has smiles on their face. And I'll tell you, the food here in Chinatown already this morning is all over the place. So people here get a great watch and a great meal today. Back to you.
Thanks, Kim.
Let's go back to the men's race here, Paula, really quick. And it's Moses Mosop now opening up his lead on Wesley Korir. That last mile, they ran 4:37.
No.
Well,
is that the second fastest mile so far?
4:37. I think that's the second fastest. And what we had was Wesley Korir put a burst of speed, pulled Moses along, and then Moses continued to inject that speed, running a 4:37. So now he is all on his own. 2:04.30 pace is what he is now doing, and just running very strong. We can see he is pulled away, and it looks to me like Korir now has fallen off the back, and I believe it's Kipyego who is running in second place, but he is well back. Tony, what's going on with Moses right now?
Mike, I'm telling you, this is a man running down the street. I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of people run. This is an impressive human being. I mean, when he decided to play hard, he's a magnificent athlete, just magnificent. I mean,
Tony, can I ask you, he ran a 2:03.06, which is the fastest ever by a first-timer. He ran that at Boston, which is actually the second fastest time on record, but it doesn't count. Can you tell us exactly why it didn't count on that Boston course?
Well, how in the name of God can Boston, 115 years old, not count? I mean, you talk about the bean counters out there. That's what it is. It's a bunch of bean counters. Yeah, Boston is a net elevation drop, but anyone that runs marathon knows the downhills at Boston beat you up. They don't help you. They beat your quads up. So they're not an advantage. Now, it was a tailwind day, point to point, west to east, and that's why, for record purposes, it doesn't count. Chicago starts and finishes, basically in a closed loop, so no matter which way the wind is blowing. As much as it may be at your back, it'll also be at your front. So that's why they consider a point-to-point course not to be legitimate for record purposes. But it had a big tailwind worth about 2 minutes time. But I'm telling you, it didn't make any difference. This guy can go run 2:03. The world record next year by springtime will not be 2:03.38. You can almost bet on that.
And this is the man that you see is doing it, right, Tony?
What's that?
And this is the guy who definitely could do it.
Oh my God,
the right
yes.
kind of day.
This is one of these classic example of a guy that in a previous, 10 years ago, he'd be running on the track. We'd never see this guy in the marathon. But the money is in the marathon. Once again, he'll win $100,000 if he can maintain doing this. Forget about his appearance fee. Forget about the time bonuses. In Kenya, there's just about a 75-to-1 Kenyan shillings per U.S. dollar. So he's not running for 100,000 of his spending units. He's running for 7.5 million. That makes a big difference.
The scary thing, Tony, is that coming into this, he said he was only about 80 to 85% because of that sore Achilles tendon. Do you think he was just sandbagging on that, or do you think that we could expect that much more when he is 100%? He looks really good right now.
I 139.41 for that mile, so that was a 4:40. I talked to his coach, Renato Canova, this morning in the hotel lobby, and he's saying he essentially missed July and August. So he's only had a month of really good. He's in very good strength shape. He's not in speed shape. So he's not sharp. He's just very, very strong. So he would have started his really serious finishing training from this point forward. So whatever he runs here today, you put then perfect conditions and another 4 to 6 weeks of sharpening work, and that's where he would be at the top of his game. So he's at like Sammy Wanjiru last year was about 80-85%, and he ran 2:06. This guy's right about 80-85%, and he's still so good that he can still run something like a 2:05 or 2:06 on 80% of his game. It's just extraordinary.
Well, his last mile was in 4 minutes and 40 seconds. His projected time now down to 2:04.25. That's amazing.
Wow, on a day like this, 26-year-old Kenyan. Now let's go over and check Lilia Shobakova. Joni, how's she doing?
Lilia looks great. She looks really strong. Paula, she's beginning to glisten, but just a little bit. She's running against the clock now, and I think she's going to get that sub 2:20 time. She's appearing to be on about high 2:18, low 2:19 pace right now. She's beginning to pass some guys who are beginning to fall off. The pacers are doing their job. She's reaching for the water and getting the fluid she needs, and she's all alone out here.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the women's Honda leaderboard right now, and it is a one-woman race. The woman who, as Joan just said, is starting to glisten. She makes it look so effortless, so easy. Lilia Shobakova on her way. Joan, this could be a big payday for her, not only for the $100,000 purse that she gets here, but also the bonus from the World Marathon Major as well.
Well, I think what would really top off the day, if she meets her goal of running that sub 2:20 marathon time that's eluded her. She's come close. 20:25 last year in Chicago and 2:20.15 in London. So she deserves it all here today, Paula.
Well, our women's wheelchair winner has crossed the finish line. Right now she's with Zoraida. Zoraida?
Well, I said she smoked them. It's Tatiana McFadden. She's with us here now. Congratulations to you. You said it was a tough course. Tell me about that.
It is a very tough course because you have to use a lot of strategy. The course is very flat, and there's a few tactics that I use on the hill, but there's only very minimum of the hill. So it's very flat course. So if you want to take off in the beginning, a lot of people will follow you. And so it is a tough course because it's pretty much flat, but it wasn't really windy. We had a few headwinds, but pretty much the wind was in our favor today as well.
So 6-time Paralympic athlete, and I know you have a t-shirt sitting right there that says London Bound.
Yes, yes. I finished first. I was named to the Paralympic team for 2012, so I was very, very excited. I was really working hard towards that today, and you know, it's really an honor to be, you know, to win the Chicago Marathon and to be named to the London 2000 team.
Well, how did it feel to be way ahead of the pack? Because I heard that the last time you came through, you came with some folks really close behind you.
It was hard because I didn't know where anyone is, but I just kept pushing through, and I just kept, you know, kept my speed strong, and I kept my speed constant. That was very important for me throughout the race, and I gave a little lenient way to slow down a little bit and then to pick it back up, but it was really, really difficult because I didn't know if they were going to catch me or not, so I just kept pushing right through.
Well, I have to tell you, when you crossed, big smile on your face, it looked like it was easy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on London as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, back to you.
All right, Zoraida, in 2009, she won the closest wheelchair finish ever, and she won again today. Congratulations to Tanya McFadden. We'll be back with more of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon after a break. You know, knocking down his chances, not thinking he was going to do very well because of the alleged Achilles tendon strain, and all he's done is blown away this field today.
And if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, Moses Mosop, this is only his second ever marathon, ran one of the best times in marathon history just in Boston at 2:03:06. It looks like he's going to win today's race and set a course record here. They call him Big Engine Kubwa, and I guess we're all finding out that he does have a pretty big engine.
Well, in the marathon, you want a big engine and a light frame, and at 5'7", 115 pounds, he has that light frame, and he has got that light frame moving very well today.
Tony was talking about how this year's race not as exciting as last year's, given the distance between the first and second place finishers, the winner being Sammy Wanjiro, of course, but in a way this is beautiful, just as exciting to watch.
How much further do we have, Tony?
Well, he passed with 800 meters left to go. He was at 2:03:01, so half a mile, you know, in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So he's well, the record is certainly his. Here's the turn on the Roosevelt. Here's where Sammy and Sege had their great final move. There he is. Mosop raises his hands for the first time. I'm telling you, there's 40,000 people behind Moses. Moses is leading the way. I don't think his people can see him.
He's going up that slight hill, I believe, up Roosevelt.
Again,
yeah, he's going
the
Chicago
Chicago
up the hill
record.
nice.
The Chicago record, 2:05:41.
400 meters to go.
2:04:20 with 400 to go.
So not only will he get $100,000 for winning, but he'll get a $50,000 bonus for setting the course record.
He needs to stay focused here.
That's a 5:11, 26th mile.
Wow. So many great athletes we've seen win this race in Chicago, from Steve Jones, Khalid Kanuchi, Evans Rudo, Sammy Wanjiro, and you're going to add this man's name to that list, Moses Mosop.
Here he comes down the stretch run.
Moses Mosop is a name we're going to hear a lot more of in marathoning history in the future. He's acknowledging the crowd. Now it's just a matter of a race between he and the record.
We're just in front of the finish line. We're going to get a chance to see him come by. He's getting a standing ovation here on Columbus Drive.
The record is going to be his. He's got to dig down, though.
Moses Mosop, the winner of the 34th 2011 Bank of America Chicago Marathon, and he shatters the record in doing so.
First time in Chicago, and he sets the course record.
Well, and he had promised us that coming into it. You know, he says, I'm nicked up. I'm only at 80%. I'm not going to get the world record, but I'm going to go after that course record. And he delivered today. He slowed a little bit the last couple miles, but that was only after he had a